An LGBT activist in Russia was attacked while he was participating in the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. Now, his name is Alexander Ermoshkin, and he started this campaign back in 2008 where people will get together and they'll release these rainbow-colored balloons in the air to kind of raise awareness about the LGBT community and basically stand up for tolerance. And as a result, he was attacked as he was walking to the site to release the balloons. We have the video of the attack. Take a quick look at that and I'll fill you in on more details. So you saw what the attack was, and then you saw the aftermath, some of the injuries that he suffered as a result of the attack. It turns out that 17 LGBT activists were also arrested in Moscow by police. Apparently, there were crowd control police that were concerned about crowd control, so they thought it would be a great idea to arrest 17 people that weren't doing anything wrong. All they were trying to do was release these balloons in the air, and apparently that was enough for the police to arrest them. But as you guys know, it's a really, really difficult time for the LGBT community in Russia right now, especially because they passed anti-gay legislation that would outlaw any type of gay propaganda toward children. So they can indicate or imply that this is anti-gay, or this is gay propaganda.
Now, that kind of backward thinking is happening in Russia because of all the Muslims, right?
Probably.
That's that backward thinking that Muslims, because their religion hasn't gone through a reformation yet, and that's why they're literally arresting gay people and beating the shit out of them for being gay because they're Muslims, right?
Well, it's obviously influenced by a different type of religion, but I would argue in the Middle East, I mean, Muslims aren't as kind to gay people either.
No, my point is that fundamentalism is fundamentalism. I mean, these are fundamentalist Christians in Russia, and they, not only are they doing it like clandestinely or just inside their own community, they're getting the government to institute repressive laws against gay people. The government's arresting people.
Like in America.
Yeah, so that's what's literally happening. I mean, that's not... And that's because of religion. That's because of religious Christian fundamentalism.
Well, when I say like in America, I mean that we also have Christians trying to get these laws to be passed. I don't mean that the level of violence is at the same level as in Russia. Obviously, it's very, very bad in Russia. Gay activists in America also get attacked, and in decades past, they would be killed very frequently. And so, I mean, we think that, you know, gay couples being willing to be more open and have people see them and meet them, that seems to be generating more tolerance over time. But of course, our situation here comes at the very end of a long train of decades and decades of activism where you were risking your life by being willing to do that. And it looks like that's the sort of situation that's going on in Russia right now. And the scariest thing is that Russia... It's not like a long road that just continually goes towards tolerance. They used to be more tolerant of homosexuals in Russia less than a decade ago. It's getting worse over time. And that, as a progressive, is very difficult to try to deal with mentally.
Yeah, you know, Martin Luther King said the arc of the universe is long...
Towards justice.
What bends towards justice. That doesn't seem to be in Russia.
Not always.
It seems like it's bending the other way.
I think that that's an important lesson to learn when it comes to this situation in Russia. Just because you have gained rights for a certain group of people doesn't mean that those rights can't be taken away. And I feel like in the United States, slowly but surely, the rights of certain minority groups have been taken away, especially when it comes to voting rights, when it comes to the way that they're treated by police officials, the way police officials are being protected when it comes to the brutality that they're obviously guilty of in a lot of these cases. So you have to continue fighting for groups of people that have been marginalized or disenfranchised throughout history. And in this case, Russia is devolving in when it comes to the way they treat the LGBT community. And it's scary. It's scary to see it. And to know that someone can be attacked so brutally just because they're doing something so nonviolent scares the hell out of me.
What is the mentality of that? There's a guy with balloons, and now grown men are going to go beat the shit out of him?
But that's the thing. Those grown men have issues, okay? If you feel that passionately about fighting against someone who's doing a very peaceful protest because of LGBT rights, then you're a little shaky in your own sexuality.
So that's it. So I mean, that's always...
That's my own pop psychology.
It's not like Russia doesn't have its own problems that it needs to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, so I've always say to people is that straight guys don't care about what gay guys do in the bedroom with each other. Straight guys don't care about what gay people do with their sex, who they marry, how they dress. So I've always said that. So if you have a problem with gay people doing any of those things, you're fighting the gay inside of you, because straight guys don't give a care. Couldn't care less about what gay people do, right? About what they're saying. How does it affect me? It doesn't.
Yeah.
So yes, so I'm like, but in such a grand scale. So was that the, Russia's kind of collective unconscious of homophobia? So is that it? I mean, is it that? Because it's being...
It's part. I think it's also one added thing is you have the people that you're talking about, and you also have people who, economically, there's problems in Russia. Things are bad, and when you have a group that the government winks and nods towards, like, if you want to brutalize those people, we're not really going to do anything about it.
In fact, we'll help you.
We'll help you. Then just sickos and people who want to act out will use that. They may not have anything specifically against homosexuals, but they want to beat someone. And so if the government says it's okay, then they're going to do it.
Like the Jews in Germany in the 30s, right? That's.
Oh, you mean like we indicate that you can be attacked and it's okay?
Yeah, you go ahead, give it to the Jews. We won't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that leadership, when it comes to a lot of social issues, is critical. And in this case, the leadership is...
horrible.
So if you have horrible leadership that does give you that wink and nod when it comes to brutalizing a group of people, then of course people will take advantage of it. And that's exactly what's happening right now.